This was his bedroom. It's called the cell. Prosthetic leg that he used. Beautiful. And this is a little offshoot from the Kalatuvki trail, which takes you to a bit of rain. Wow, the scale of these rocks. But it's like jazz, like sort of bossa nova. In this video, we're still in the Tatra Mountains and the beautiful town of Zakopane on the southern tip of Poland. Today, we're taking you on a hike which spans many kilometers, but also much variety, including a mountain monastery and a hermitage, rocky mountain passes, sprawling meadows, and local folklore music. Zakopane is a beautiful town, and it's certainly worth visiting any time of the year. But you do have to take it into account that if you come in high season, it will be harder to get away from people. So, if you follow our channel, we will always tell you where to go to escape. In the forests just of the Blue Trail to Kalatuvki Meadow, there are two small monasteries, the Albertine Sisters and the Albertine Brothers, seen here on the right. Both were created thanks to Saint Brother Albert, Adam Chmielowski. The place, which is set in pristine forest surroundings, is frequently visited by pilgrims. At the end of the 19th century, the Albertine brothers built their monastery as well as Brother Albert's wooden hermitage, which you're going to see in a moment. In 1902, the monks moved to a nearby new building and handed the older monastery over to the Albertine Sisters, which you will see in a moment too. The hermitage was often visited by Karol Wojtyła, Pope John Paul II, who in 1997 visited the hermitage for the last time. Brother Albert dedicated his life to creating shelters for the homeless. Serving the homeless and the destitute was a form of contemplating the passion of Christ for him. He organized houses for the disabled and terminally ill, while the sisters worked in military and epidemic hospitals. The hermitage, which you're about to see, was his de facto residence and place of prayer and contemplation. This is the cell of Saint Albert. He was a monk, and he spent many of his years of his life in this little tiny hut in the mountains here in the Tatras. This is now a museum, of course, and we're gonna go inside and have a look how he lived. This was his bedroom. It's called the cell, but I think many of us would love to live in a place like this and just enjoy the quiet and sounds of nature. And this is him. This is Saint Albert. This is a replica of his prosthetic leg that he used. So I'm not gonna lie, the last week of June is not a quiet time in the Tatras. However, you can still find little places where it's beautiful. And this is a little offshoot from the Kalatuvki trail, which takes you to a monastery. A monastery, I'm gonna tell you a bit more about it soon. And just look around. It's beautiful. You may notice some of the trees at the back there are decayed and at the end of their lives, and this is because a lot of the trees in the Tatras die from termites but also very strong winds. But the nature has its way of reviving and renewing itself, and so there's plenty of new trees growing. And this is the monastery. Let's have a look. What is a hermitage, you might ask? A hermitage is a secluded home where you deepen and strengthen your relationship with God. It is a place of silence and solitude to praise and adore the Lord. Kalatówki is one of the main hermitages of Albertine sisters in Poland. Sisters make monthly and annual silent retreats here. Interestingly, weekly Sunday services take place here too. Considering that it is a bit of a hike to get here, I wonder how fit the priests who give sermons here are. And here is where proper hiking begins. We're at the mountain shelter at Kondratowa Meadow. From here, we're going to hike up to the pass between Kopa Kondracka and Giewont, also known as the Sleeping Knight, arguably the most symbolic and famous mountain peak in the whole of Poland. It features a huge cross, which you will see more up close later on in this video. In August of 2019, a lightning strike killed 4 tourists and injured 100 more who summited the mountain during a storm. So after all the monasteries and Albertine nuns, we're walking up to the pass behind the Sleeping Knight. And at this altitude, at this height, you can tell the flora is changing and it's becoming much more high alpine flora. Look at these beautiful mountain pines all around me. Beautiful. I'm glad it's not too windy, but the weather is definitely changeable up here. So be prepared for everything. This is Kondratowa Pass, just ahead of us, and these are beautiful views towards High Tatra. And these beautiful rocks, the scale of which it's hard to appreciate on the video, you have to see them yourselves. These rocks are a perfect hiding spot and habitat for bears. This place is sort of notorious for their presence here. They come out here, stay the winter, hibernate during the winter, but also obviously feed on blueberries and plants down here. Beautiful trail to the Kondratowa Pass and Giewont, which is the Sleeping Knight. It's massive, it's just here. A bit of rain doesn't hurt. Beautiful. As you can see, the weather is unpredictable. in the Tatras, we just got soaked. And it's cold and I'm freezing. But it's beautiful. So I'm here at the top of the Kondratowa Pass. It's beautiful. I'm gonna say it's a bit cold and windy, but the views are second to none. We've got Giewont, it's the sleeping knight over there. We've got High Tatras over there. And the beginning of the Western Tatras over here. And this is the impressive Czerwone Wierchy, red peaks, massive, and into the valley of the little meadow, Małe Łąki. It's a bit of a shame that the weather has turned. You can just about see the cross, the crucifix of the sleeping knight, but we're gonna make the best of it. Wow, the scale of these rocks, which is basically the red peaks, what we call them in Poland, is enormous. This forest is magnificent. It's dark and thick, and very wet at the moment. And this is the valley of the little meadow. Actually, this meadow is quite large, as you can see. It's absolutely stunning. We used to come here as kids, so I have a lot of good memories from here. It's super huge, and it extends all the way there to the Red Peaks, Czerwone Wierchy Massive and Giewont Massive. We just came out of that forest there, and there are plenty of places here to have lunch. Normally this is overrun by tourists, by people, and we seem to be the only ones here, as we were the only people coming down from the Kondratova Pass over there. Beautiful meadow.